Up next, we're going to take a look at a female Black-owned business that's helping school learners discover the world of science through their own mini labs. Take a look at this.
So the vision of Nkazimulo Applied Sciences is actually a South Africa where each and every child has an opportunity to fall in love with science by having access to the tools to help them understand and perform science experiments so that they can grow up and become confident scientists. Schools in South Africa still don't have the equipment that they need. And so when they get to university and they want to pursue their science careers, they are not well prepared for that. So our vision is to equip those kids so that they can become whatever scientist they want to become.
Bathabile, she works with SLG, which is a spring-light gas, and that's the company that I approached when we wanted to have a science lab. We are just having a class, an ordinary class, not designed to be a science lab. Hence, spring-light gas referred to me to Bathabile and said that these are people who can assist, and therefore she came in and she fitted like a glove in a school. Whatever setup that you have seen inside the laboratory, it was the brilliant idea that came from her.
How I actually became a scientist and starting my own business is when I was a child. I actually did watch a lot of television, and I was just fascinated by how science was used to come up with different solutions. So for me, science wasn't just about knowing the facts of what happens, in creation, but also to understand how that knowledge is applied to make the lives of people better. So when I grew up, I actually wanted to become a doctor, but because I went to a rural school that didn't have science labs and all these things, when I got to university, I struggled.
Whatever curriculum that we infuse in schools, though that curriculum, it is in line with what the country is needed. Our pass rate for science in 2019, it was 14%, and in 2020, they were 74%, and in 2021, they were at 60%. So through her intervention, that has created the zeal and also enthusiasm with the learners. So whatever they do science, now they pass because they are able to interact with whatever that they are doing.
So when we're doing the practicals no longer the same as before, because in the past years we were using the recycled materials. For example, when we needed a glass beaker, we just cut out a 2-liter bottle and that would be our beaker. And it has improved our love for science. We can come here to the laboratory and also feel like the real scientists. Unlike before, we used to use our own money to buy the apparatus, but now we have everything we need here.
If you want to be a doctor, you can't be a doctor without science. So doing more experiments will help us improve science and have more experience.
So understanding science concepts and loving it, it's actually the same. You need to do the science experiment yourself. You need to understand and just experiment, change certain things and to get a full understanding of how science works.
Science is a subject, I think that it's a very important subject in our lives because it helps us explore the unknown of our world. Experimenting in the lab is very helpful for us, especially as grade 11s. It helps us to explore, and when we are facing a test or an exam that the teachers gave us, it helps us give us more of an understanding of what's happening in the lab.
What I would say to encourage young people to become scientists is that they must never give up. They must never give up in doing what they want to do. So if a young person wants to become an engineer, they mustn't give up on that just because they don't have the resources. It's just a matter of, like raising your hand and saying, this is my issue, somebody please help me. And then you find people like us and other companies that want to assist.
Inspiring stuff. There was, of course, Bathabile Mpofu, a KZN native, helping young people fall in love with science through providing easy access to science equipment. That is absolutely amazing, and it's beautiful to see those young minds being stimulated. But today it is all about space on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so don't go anywhere.